12 famous people who have filed for bankruptcy. 1. Kim Basinger. In 1989, Basinger bought a town for $20 million. She wanted to turn Braselton, Georgia, into a tourist attraction. Instead, she had to declare bankruptcy. Basinger then resold the town. 2. Zsa Gabor. Gabor had a long feud with Elke Sommer, but she overstepped the line when she spoke to German media. The actress called Sommer a broke Hollywood has-been. She was hit with a libel suit and lost in 1993. The court ordered her to pay $1 million in compensation. Gabor filed for bankruptcy protection. 3. Larry King. In the 1960s, King's former friend accused him of stealing. King was arrested and charged with grand larceny. The charges were later dropped, but King's career tanked. He worked as an announcer at a horse track just to get by. King declared bankruptcy in 1978. 4. Jerry Lee Lewis. Lewis filed for bankruptcy in 1988 over his tax debts. The IRS seized his cars, furniture, and baby grand piano. Agents even showed up at his concerts to collect ticket sales. Lewis continued to perform after filing bankruptcy. 5. 50 Cent. The rapper filed for bankruptcy in 2015. He was between $10 million and $50 million in debt. He'd managed to pay off $22 million by 2017. How? By winning a $13.65 million legal malpractice suit. 6. Ulysses S. Grant. After losing re-election, Grant partnered with Ferdinand Ward. Grant and Ward was initially a success, but Grant didn't realize it was a Ponzi scheme. In 1884, the firm went bankrupt. Grant turned to writing to provide for his family. He sold his personal belongings to pay the bills. 7. Henry Ford. The Ford Motor Company was founded in 1903. It was Henry Ford's third attempt at making cars. His first company filed for bankruptcy in 1901. This hit him so hard that Ford filed for personal bankruptcy as a result. 8. Milton S. Hershey. Milton is remembered as the chocolate king, but the Hershey Co. didn't take off at once. Hershey, who had no education beyond the 4th grade, was an amateur. He experimented with chocolates and caramels at his own risk. He had to file for bankruptcy after his 4th candy company failed. The 5th one, though, is still there. 9. Walt Disney. Disney launched his first company in 1920. It only lasted 3 years before being unable to pay the bills. In 1923, Disney filed for bankruptcy. He borrowed money from his brother and parents. Broke but determined, he used it to start the Walt Disney Company. 10. Mike Tyson. Tyson was $23 million in debt in 2003. He owed money to the IRS, British tax authorities, and lawyers. He owed his trainers, managers, and producers. He had to pay $9 million in a divorce settlement. He was behind on child support payments. Tyson declared bankruptcy and went to jail. 11. Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson spent his entire life in debt, but lived like a king. He borrowed money from everyone, even his slaves. When he couldn't pay off his old loans, he took out new ones. In 1826, the Virginia legislature sponsored a lottery for his belongings. It only raised a fraction of what Jefferson needed. He died the same year, $100,000 in debt. 12. Michael Jackson. Jackson owed around $500 million at the time of his death. He had taken out numerous loans to cover his expenses. Most of them remained unpaid. Interest kept piling up, while Jackson spent millions more on lawyers. Maintenance costs for Neverland were astronomical. Jackson was on the brink of foreclosure when he died. This has solved all the problems. Today, Michael Jackson's estate is valued at $1.5 billion.